it's amazing since last week, like how much hockey I've watched, where I've just been absolutely slack-jawed by the outcomes that I've seen this playoffs. It's such fucking chaos. I
It's
can't believe it.
absolute chaos. Absolute chaos. And we have to start in terms of chaos and just absurdity with the Boston Bruins.
Unbelievable. I could not believe what I watched.
65 win Boston Bruins setting a single season record in the salary cap era. President's Trophy winners, 135 points in the season, losing in game 7 overtime to the Panthers. And the Panthers, like, I was watching the game. I bet on the Panthers. And it was 3-2 with 50 seconds left, something like that.
Oh yeah.
They come back again. I mean,
that was unbelievable.
They are the team that never dies. They were the scrappiest last seed I have seen. And honestly, I think the Bruins would have steamrolled the Islanders. But there's so much high-end talent on the Panthers that they couldn't, and the Panthers just kind of bumbled about throughout the regular season. They really found their stride this playoff series, and it's because of Matthew Tkachuk. Matthew Tkachuk is one of the clutchest players that we're seeing right now in the NHL. He had 5 goals this series, 7-game series, 5 goals, 11 points, so that's 1.5 points per game. He had an overtime goal, and he was drawing a bunch of penalty minutes as well. I mean, the guy, besides McDavid, Matthew Tkachuk has played as the best player in this playoff series so far.
And also, one of the announcers said this when they were recapping the Carter Verhaeghe overtime goal to win the series. The stuff that you don't see on the stat sheet, which, I mean, of course, cliche in that, right? But like that's literally what Tkachuk does, while also being such a heady, like, great offensive player in his own right. Like when the puck was behind the net, and he so capably just kind of slalomed around the net, used all of his body to redirect a Bruin trying to clear the puck.
Are you talking about the overtime goal?
Yes, trying to clear the puck.
Verhaeghe scored, yeah.
And then immediately after getting it out to Verhaeghe, it went right into screen setting position in front of the goal. Like he corralled the puck, got it, squirted it back out to Verhaeghe's vicinity through like one of the Bruins skates, trying to also kind of hack the puck to get it out there, and then immediately went into position, kind of trying to screen in front of the goalie, in front of Swayman. I guess he's because Ullmark did not play. It was
Ullmark
Swayman,
didn't. I mean,
the rookie, or I guess he's a younger player.
Yeah.
I don't know if he is a rookie, but
no. But they've been kind of balancing the load all year. I mean, to be honest, guys, I said this earlier in earlier podcasts. I'm going to take a small victory lap. Ullmark should not be winning the Vezina this year. He had a really good season. I know he wasn't playing last game, so that's not it. But look, the game before, it was rough, and I know he might be injured. But the point is that Boston was a dominant defensive team all year. The two guys that should be actually winning the Vezina are Ilya Sorokin on the Islanders and Hellebuck. Sorry,
yeah,
on the Jets, and we'll talk about the Jets in a little bit. But it just, honestly, what's so insane too, Bradley, is that do you like, little trivia? Remember when the Lightning won the President's Trophy and they got upset by the Blue Jackets in the first round, 3 or 4 years ago? Mm-hmm. Panarin was on that team. I guess 5 years ago at this point. Do you know who the goaltender was for that team?
For the Blue
Jackets?
No, who was it?
Sergei Bobrovsky.
Oh my God, right. So great. I always now I'm so used to now seeing him in a Panthers
signed
uniform.
In a free agent.
Yeah, now he's on the Panthers, right? Oh my God, right. Because that's wild.
So he was the goaltender in both of those upsets by the lowest seed against the best team in the league that year.
He's a giant killer.
I mean, it's not like Bobrovsky. I'm sorry.
Bobrovsky.
It's not like Bobrovsky. I've been talking too much today. I'm outsourcing it to him. It's not like he played out of his mind great, but that's just an amazing career stat to have.
It's and also, I was just, like it's fascinating to see some of these guys who maybe were not necessarily cast-offs, but almost sort of seen like, oh, like this is their ceiling. So if I'm the Calgary Flames, I feel really fucking stupid that I let Matthew could. Or
Well,
that
he
it-
forced
that-
himself out. I mean, to be honest, they got the best return they had because he said, "I'm not re-signing here. You need to get the best. I don't want to be in Calgary. I don't want to be in Canada." I think something had to do with the vaccine mandate, so I try not to think about that.
Whoa.
Yeah, but like, I mean, first of all, would I rather live in sunny Florida than
Absolutely
Calgary?
right, like Orlando or Calgary, like
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
you know.
I mean, Florida's not that great, but
But I guess like weather, I don't know, you know.
Calgary
we-
doesn't seem like, in terms of places I'd rather get drafted. I mean, I would put Winnipeg and Calgary.
But I
towards
guess
the
what I'm
bottom.
saying is, that's good context. But I feel like I'm probably, if I'm a Flames fan, I'm kicking myself thinking, oh my god, like
Yes.
this is what this guy he got traded, and this is what he's doing for a team that just beat the President's Trophy winner in the first round. And then same thing with Bobrovsky. Like Bobrovsky was.
Well, Blue Jackets can't hold on to anybody.
Kind of you're right, exactly. Kind of seemed as, you know, almost like he was an absolute. I feel like he was kind of like a firebrand goalie, right, young goalie who I think kind of burned pretty brightly, but then had some really tough seasons towards the end of his time with the Blue Jackets, ultimately leading him to leave for Florida. And he's playing, and he's still, you know, I don't actually know how old he is now.
34.
And he's 34 and still playing some of the best hockey of his career, and literally holding it down against one of the most potent offensive attacks. I mean, they just won a series against a team that had David Pastrnak, you know, Patrice Bergeron, even not at full health, I guess, because he was sick at some point in the series. But this is just an amazing accomplishment, and it goes to show you. I mean, I'm a little superstitious when it comes to sports, but damn, if this President's Trophy curse isn't continuing to rear its ugly head for most, you know, kind of the teams that really performed the best in the regular season. The Panthers themselves just a few years ago were subject to it, and now they're the ones ousting the number one team from the regular
the NHL's
season.
insane. And you mentioned Bergeron. I just want to give him his flowers because that's probably his last game as a professional.
Right. And just a phenomenal,
might not
legendary pro,
but
just
exactly.
a pros pro, consummate, unbelievable player,
two-way player, everything a coach could ever want in a player. So Patrice Bergeron, legend of the sport. I mean, I'm happy to see Boston go down, but obviously,
it's just wild to me because especially when they scored the 2 goals in the period, I was like, oh, they're winning this game. Because I was like, this is the buzzsaw. This is, we're down late.
3-2, the crowd's going insane.
Right, we're down late. We just scored 2 goals in the span of basically 5 minutes. Actually, excuse me. Wait, sorry. Was it 2-0 or 2-1? I think they scored 3 goals.
I think it was 2-1 going into
it
the
was
third
2-1. So they
period,
scored 2
if
goals
I
to make
recall.
it 3-2. So they were actually up. I was like, there's no way that they're sacrificing this lead. And like you said, the Panthers, what they did the best, as you said before, was just remain pesky, stay in their zone, continue to hack at the puck when it was right in front of Swayman. Just do not let the Bruins get comfortable at one point to get it to overtime, and just see where the chips fall. They may get one good chance and put it in the goal, and they did.